Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, we don't usually do phone videos. Oh good, the streamers have started outside. Fantastic, let me close the window. Sorry about that, I'll make this brief because they are streaming outside. So, as you might be able to tell by the appearance or not, I don't know, I'm currently on holiday. And I'm going to be filming while I'm here, just a little vlog of what I'm reading while I'm away. So the first book I'm reading is The Summer of Broken Rules. For context, today is, what day is it? Tuesday. And I'm here until not this coming Saturday, the Saturday after, so like a week and a half. And this is the first book we're starting with. I started it this morning. I'm on page 87, which is chapter 7. Basically the premise of this book, it's kind of your classic YA summer kind of book, in that the girl, Meredith, goes to the same place every summer. It's set, this particular book, on Martha's Vineyard. Vineyard, I don't know how you say that in an English accent. Anyway, irrelevant. She's there, she goes there every summer, and classic, you know, she knows everyone there, blah blah blah, it's full of family and friends, etc. But this year they're hosting a wedding there, not her wedding, her cousin's wedding, so there's also quite a lot of new people, like all the groomsmen in his side of the family, they don't know, so there's also like new people there. And where I'm at now, she's met a boy called Whit, and they're just kind of striking up a friendship. They're basically playing this game of assassin at the wedding, and they're striking up like an alliance, and that's basically where I've got to, like that kind of just starting. I'm on page 87. I am really enjoying it. The vibes are great. Like, it's a perfect book to read on holiday just because of the vibes. But my only problem is I'm on page 87 and it's already a little bit like, you know, she's getting butterflies, they're being quite touchy-feely. It's just, I don't mind that at this stage. I'm just worried it's going to go too quick. Like, I'm worried the romance is going to develop too quickly. But we'll see. I don't want to prejudge. Anyway, I'm going to go because I don't know if you can hear the streamers, but it's really loud. So I'm going to go have a snack before I go out for my tea, and I'll give you an update when I'm a bit further into The Summer of Broken Rules. Guess who's got heat stroke? I don't think I've fully got heat stroke. I've just like half got heat stroke. Anyway, it's the next day since the last time I spoke to you. What day is it? It's Wednesday today. Like, just for context, I don't know if I've explained, I've been here since Saturday, but I was finishing a book for another video. Hence why I only started this video on Tuesday. So I'm like, we got here Saturday night, so I'm like 4 days into my holiday. And I've just spent a little bit too much time in the sun today. So I'm just inside at the minute, having a little lay down. And I've been reading more of The Summer of Broken Rules. I'm now on page 155, so I've read what, like, was it like 70 pages since I last spoke to you? Oh, I'm tired. I loved it. I'm really enjoying this book. I think it's a really good mix of like the whole assassin game. I'm really enjoying reading about that. Like, it's just a fun thread to have in the book. Like, I don't know, it just adds a bit of something but doesn't focus on it too much. Like, it's not annoying. We're still focusing on like the characters and the budding romance and everything, but I am really enjoying the game. It's just making it fun, and I think reading this while I'm on holiday is perfect because obviously they're talking about like the beach and the sea and the water and the sand and everything, and I'm like at the beach, so I'm really enjoying this. My copy is getting bad because I'm reading it around the pool, but I kind of like that when I bring a book on holiday. I kind of like it to go home looking a bit like I've read it in the summer at the beach, you know, like a bit of salt water on it and stuff. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now, page 155. It's not the end of the day yet, I'm definitely going to read more. I'd like to get to at least page 200 today. I wanted to get to page 250, but we've been really busy this morning, like we've been out and about. So I don't think I'll get to page 250 today. But I'd like to get to at least page 200, so I can maybe finish it tomorrow, fingers crossed, and then start another book. I've got quite a lot of physical books with me, and I've got my Kindle as well, so we've got plenty to be getting on with reading wise. Yeah, I'll give you an update either later or tomorrow. Do excuse me, I can't stop yawning. I'll give you an update either later or tomorrow with how I get on, or I don't know. Maybe I'll just give you an update now when I've finished the book, or if my opinions change. But yeah, speak to you when I've got an update. Hello. I have now finished The Summer of Broken Rules. Should we take these off? That's a bit obnoxious. I've now finished The Summer of Broken Rules, and I gave it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. I feel like, yes, the romance was underdeveloped. Okay, like, yes, it was a bit underdeveloped. It was definitely a bit insta-lovey, but my favourite bit about the book wasn't even the romance, it was the Game of Assassin. I was worried when I heard about this book that the Game of Assassin would, like, distract from the romance and everything, but I actually think it really helped move the story forward. I actually really enjoyed it. I also enjoyed that we had a big cast of characters, but we just focused on getting to know, like, a few of them. I'm very glad there was the family tree though at the beginning of the book, because it did get a little bit confusing sometimes trying to figure out who's related to who, but honestly it kind of doesn't matter who's related to who, they're all just playing a big game of assassin. So I just kind of let go of needing to know exactly like who's related to who. Sorry, there's traffic noise outside. I just let go of like the need to know exactly who is related to who, and just enjoyed the book for what it was, and it was really fun. I think reading it on holiday was definitely a good idea, because it was the perfect summer like vibes, being at the beach and everything. So yeah, I'm very glad I read it, especially while I was here. Not the perfect book, again the romance was a bit underdeveloped, but I feel like the little twist we found out at the end helped develop it a bit more. It was like, it helped kind of add a couple of like invisible strings to the romance, if that makes sense, like a little bit of a connection that they had before. I felt strengthened it a bit. So yeah, I finished that, and I've now started Until I Met You by Amber Gill. Now, I love Amber Gill, Amber Rose Gill, who was on Love Island season 5-ish, might not be in season 5 actually, I think it was later than that, a while ago. She was on Love Island, love her, follow her on social media, amazing woman, but I'm not loving the book. I love the premise of the book. I could be wrong, but I'm assuming it's ghostwritten. I'm sure it is. I'm sure I've heard that it's a ghostwritten book, so she came up with the premise and then someone helped her write it, and the premise is great. Basically, this girl is going to a friend's wedding. Her boyfriend of 2 years dumps her like 2 weeks before the wedding, so she has to go on her own, and she's just kind of trying to embrace the opportunity, even though she's now got to go on her own and her plans and everything have changed. And then obviously she's gonna meet someone while she's there and fall in love. So that's like a good premise, you know, like a standard little summer romance, but I've got a couple of issues. Number one is the writing. It's very in-your-face writing. There's no kind of nuance to anything. Everything is just explained, like, which obviously you want things to be explained because you need to understand things, but everything's very explicit. There's like nothing to work out, there's nothing to be intrigued about, because everything's handed to you on a plate. So that's issue number one. I'm not loving the writing. It's also like there's too many exclamation marks. Why? We don't need, like, it looks like one of my work emails. We don't need this many exclamation marks. I don't know, the tone of the book for me is just a bit weird. I'm not loving it. And then the main character, God, she's been insufferable. None of the characters are great. I'm only on page 35, by the way, and I don't like anyone. But the main character just seems very entitled, and I feel like there's a difference between sticking up for yourself, which is good, and being entitled. Like, for example, they tried to upgrade her to a room where she would have to share, and she didn't want to do that. She wanted to stay on her own, so she stood her ground. That's fine. But then she went into this little local shop, and the shopkeeper was like, oh, you can have the bottle of water for free. And then another worker came out the back and was like, no, we can't give away free stuff, that'll be $4. And she like kicked off in like her internal monologue, being like, oh my God, that man's so rude, like, what do you mean, like, I have to pay for it, like, blah, 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 blah. You should have been grateful that they offered it for free in the first place and then just paid for it. Like, I don't know, the way she thinks about things in her head is just weird. Like, and again, I feel like there's a difference between being self-confident and being self-assured and standing up for yourself and just being a bit rude and entitled. And to me, she is currently coming across in some situations as rude and entitled. Again, in some of them she's just sticking up for herself and being assertive, which is good. But like, why are you like really kicking off about not getting a bottle of water for free from like a little local business? I don't know. I'm not loving it right now, but I am going to carry on and see how it goes. But yeah, I'm not obsessed with this right now. So I'm going to go and continue reading that, and I will update you Honestly, I feel like it could be a DNF, but I will update you when I decide. I'll try and be quick because the fan's on, but I actually can't turn it off because it's so hot. I'm now in the middle of 3 books. We've had a wild couple of days, guys. So obviously I finished, what was it called? The Summer of Broken Rules. We're done with that. I started reading Until I Met You. I put that down yesterday. And you know when you're reading a book and like you actually can't read a single another word because you're just so over it. That's how I felt about that book. I just could not do it. I'm not saying I'm DNFing completely. When I finish the book I'm currently reading, I am going to give it another go and see if I can finish it or at least like read a bit more. But as we stand now, I've put that one to one side. It's just the writing style of it for me. I don't like the third person. I don't like the characters. I feel like if it was written in first person, it would help me connect to the character more. But because it's third person and I don't like her, it's very difficult for me to connect to these characters and like care at all about what they're doing because I'm just so annoyed at them all. So I put that one to one side. Then I started reading Cat's Cradle by Kurt Vonnegut. But I didn't realise that it has a very strong theme of religion, and as somebody who isn't religious and has never been religious, I'm just not clicking with the book again. It is a fictional religion, I think. I'm pretty sure it's like a made up, like science fiction kind of religion. And there's definitely like some interesting points in the book, but I'm just not clicking with it because I'm not religious. This isn't me saying that I have anything against religion at all. I've just not been raised religious and not become religious as an adult. So I just therefore find it hard to connect to it, especially because it's like a fictional religion, so it's not like I'm learning anything about real religions either. Do you know what I mean? So I put that one to one side as well. And I'm now about 80% into Meet Me at the Lake by Carly Fortune, and God, I hate it. Hate is actually a strong word because I just feel nothing. I just really don't like it. Again, I don't like, there's not a single character other than potentially Peter that I actually like, and he's like a side character. We've not seen as much from it. Honestly, I just want, well, we can't because, you know, if you've read it, you know why. I honestly just want a book of her mum and Peter. I think that's the only romance I'm actually convinced of in these entire books. Do her and the love interest even know each other, like each other? Like, I don't understand how they're so in love. And I get the idea of meeting someone and you just get that feeling. Like, I'm not saying love at first sight, but like, you know, when you meet someone and you get that feeling straight away, like, oh, this could be something. I completely get that. But just the whole premise of this book's weird. Like, you've not seen each other in however many years. How, like, it takes time, surely, for those feelings to, like, build back up and get to know each other again. I don't know, it's weird. The setting isn't what I thought it'd be. I'm not getting the fun summer vibes of the setting. I don't like the characters. I don't like the premise. She just didn't need to have a boyfriend. It's like basically past and present time. I've not really explained what the book is about. It's past present timeline, 10 years ago now. This girl, I don't even know her name, Fern, I think. She's basically taken over the family resort, and then we flash back to 10 years ago, what her life was like then. And it's just really boring because I'm not invested in the romance. I don't believe in it. There's no chemistry. They don't even know each other. They don't talk about anything. They just... Can you just see my face that I don't even want to talk about this book? But anyway, I'm going to go try and finish it now before I go and have some dinner, because I'm just over it and I just want it to be done. And then I don't know what I'm going to read next. I'm going to try, I think, again with Until I Met You, see how I get on with that, and then make a decision whether I'm going to finish that or if I'm just going to DNF. But we'll see. We'll get done with Meet Me at the Lake first and then decide what I'm doing next. But I'm just so over this book. Yeah, again, there's a fan on. I can't turn it off because I nearly fainted earlier. Love that for me. I cannot hack heat. Anyway, quick update because I know the fan's probably annoying. I finished Meet Me at the Lake. I gave it 2 stars, which is generous. Hated everyone, hated the romance. Romance is a bold word. There actually wasn't even a romance. Do they even know each other at all, like each other? Like, I don't understand. I feel like it was really underdeveloped. The whole romance hinged on this, oh, we met 10 years ago thing, but you find out very, very, very early on in the book that they only met for a day. Like, they're not exes or anything. They literally spent 1 day together while they both had other partners. They didn't like explicitly cheat, but I mean, they definitely crossed lines, like boundaries were crossed. Even if they didn't physically cheat very much, I feel like they emotionally did. And then I'm supposed to root for that when that's the backstory and there's no development of the romance in the present tense. It's all about the past. and it was just not good. And yeah, the characters were just either annoying or I didn't feel anything towards them. Still stand by what I said. I think a book of her mum and Peter would have been better, because I think they actually knew each other and liked each other. So yeah, that's that. 2 stars. Oh, and also I think the thing that really got me is the setting was so lacking. Like, why are we on this beautiful resort but we know nothing about it? We know that there's a dining room and a dock, but like, I just don't feel like anything was properly described. I don't feel like I can really picture the place they're at. I have no idea what it looks like. And when I'm reading like a summer book, I want summer vibes. I want to know what the place looks like. I want to get those summer feels, and I didn't even get that. So it's summer developed romance, got no summer vibes. All in all, not for me. I have decided to carry on with Until I Met You. I actually think reading Meet Me by the Lake helped me like Until I Met You a bit more. This is still very insta love. The romance has no development at all. The writing style still isn't 100% for me, but like, it's just a little bit, like, I don't want to say cringy, because it's not overly cringy. I've seen people say like there's a lot of Love Island references in here, and I've only picked up on one that was really obvious. So I don't want to say it's cringy. It's just not for me. It's just not the style of writing I enjoy. I don't know how to describe it. And I think the fact it's in third person, as I said before, isn't helping. But what is working for me about this book is the setting and the descriptions. I can picture what they're doing. I'm getting the summer vibes. The characters, I hate them less than I did at the beginning. Some of them are quite fun. I just feel like they're all caricatures. These don't feel like real people to me. There's a lot of exclamation marks. And that's kind of what I mean about the writing. It doesn't feel very realistic. It very much feels like, you know, just a fun, silly time. But at least it is fun, and there are some good descriptions. Like I said, I'm getting the summer vibes from it at least. Whereas with Meet Me by the Lake, I just didn't at all. So yeah, I am going to finish this one. I'm now on page 230, so got that much left. So I am going to finish it. I'm not going to do an F. Still, yeah, the romance is still just nothing. It's very insta love. Like, tell me why you don't even know this man. Like, do you know anything about each other? Like, birthdays, middle names, anything at all? And like, they've not told each other they love each other, but in her head, you can very much tell, like, that's what she's hinting at already. And I say already, I'm on page 230, but like, that happened quite a while ago, where like, and this isn't a spoiler because like, it's not actually happened. It's just the vibes I'm picking up from her internal monologue is that she like thinks she's in love with him. And it's like, but you don't know him. You met him under a week ago. But anyway, this isn't going to be a showstopper. It's probably going to be like a fun 3-star read, but at least there are fun elements to it, because with Meet Me by the Lake, there was nothing fun. I'll speak to you when I finished this one. I forgot what it's called.
Little fall type thing. Flips your
I have now finished reading Until I Met You, and I think I'm going to give it like 2.5 to 3, 2.75, somewhere around there. I didn't hate it. It was quite fun. Essentially everything I said before. The descriptions of the setting were gorgeous. I could really feel the summer vibes. Didn't love the characters at the beginning, but they did grow on me. Writing was a bit over the top for me in terms of, you know, a lot of exclamation marks. Trying too hard to be like a bit quirky, I think. But yeah, overall it was fun. I wouldn't like necessarily recommend it because there's much better romances out there, but if it was on your radar and you just want something that's like very easy, very summer vibes, very like take it with a pinch of salt kind of book, then it was fine. But there are much better romances out there. I'm also feeling a little bit better today. I'm just trying to take it steady, and I have started another book already. I've started Open Water by Caleb Bazuma Nelson, I think it is. Yeah, Caleb Bazuma Nelson. I don't really know what it's about. It's a love story. It's written in second person, which is jarring me a little bit. One of my favourite books ever, The Book Thief, is written in second person. Or is it all written in second person, or is it certain chapters? I haven't reread it in a few years, so I can't remember. And I love that book, but I think in a romance it's just jarring me a bit. But it's not like a typical rom-com romance at all. about adults. I don't know exactly how old they are, but it's more about like the experience of falling in love. I don't know how to describe what it's about. It's also about the experience of being a black person. There is a lot of talk, well, not like talk, but it's quite subtly written, but definitely they're touching on the experience of being black and the experience of falling in love. I'm very early on. What page am I on? I think I'm on like page 15 or something. Oh, page 18. So I really haven't read much, but it is only like 100 and something pages long. It's not a very long book, which is kind of why I brought it away, because I thought we can dust that off quite quick. But I just don't think I'm in the mood for it, because I'm like, I've been feeling a bit down the last couple of days. I feel like I just need something like a fun romance, like just a silly fun time, not something where I really have to like pay attention, because I want to do the book justice. I don't want to read it when I'm not in the mood for it. So I think I'm going to have a scroll through my Kindle, see what's on there, maybe choose something a bit more like, I don't know, just something a bit more light and easy. But yeah, that's kind of the plan. I'll let you know when I decide what I'm actually going to read. I'm going to make this a quick clip because look at the state of me. I've been at work all day and now I'm in pyjamas. I've just brushed my curls out, so they're looking all out of shape. But anyway, I am home now from my holiday and I'm just going to do a quick wrap up because I feel like I never actually spoke to you. I don't think I actually told you I was reading Fuel the Fire. Is that what it's called? Fuel the Fire? I think so. I don't think I even told you I was reading that. I just filmed like B-roll. So I decided to read Fuel the Fire. For context, I've been enjoying the Addicted Calloway Sisters series, but not like loving it, just liking it rather than loving it. And Rose and Connor aren't my favourite couple. I don't want to say they're my least favourite. I love them and I find them very fascinating, but I don't enjoy being in Connor's head. I found that I actually don't enjoy his POV very much. I like Rose's and I like Connor. It's not that I don't like him, I love him in the other books. I don't know, I've not gelled with being in his head. So going into this book, I was a bit nervous. I was kind of just reading it to get to the next one, to be honest. But yeah. Shall I tell you what I thought of it now? I didn't finish it whilst I was on holiday. So whilst I was on holiday, I think I read 394 pages of it, which is like the length of a normal book, but it's quite a long book. So yeah, I didn't actually finish it whilst I was on holiday, but I finished it since I got home. So I'll just tell you what I thought of it. I ended up giving it a 3-star. It was fine. It was relatively quick and easy to get through. It didn't take me too long to read based on how big the book was, but it was just fine. I did like a few things about it. I liked that we saw a more vulnerable side of Connor. I feel like that's kind of been lacking, and that was lacking in the last book of theirs, Kiss the Sky, wasn't it? Where we were in his POV, I found it hard to click with him because there was like no emotion. Whereas this time we saw a lot more vulnerable side of him, both in his own head and from Rose's perspective. So I really did appreciate that. I feel like, I don't know, I understand Connor a little bit more now, but I still didn't just love it. They're just not my favourite couple. Like, I love them. They're just not my favourite couple to be in the heads of. They're not my favourite points of view to read from. I don't know why. I can't pinpoint it. They're just not. But yeah, I gave the book 3 stars. I found it a bit too long, quite repetitive, a lot of smut scenes. I don't mind smut in a book, but if anything is repeated, I'm going to get bored. And in this book, I found the smut quite repetitive. There was just a lot of it. It was like, hey, I get it. Like, I get it. I don't need to read this. And I felt like for quite a lot of the book, it not lacked direction. Like, there was a point to everything they were doing, I don't know, I think it just felt like a little bit drawn out. I don't think it needed to be quite as long as it was, but it wasn't a bad book at all. I did enjoy it more than I enjoyed Kiss the Sky, definitely. So yeah, not a bad book, just not my favourite in the series. So, quick recap then of what I ended up actually reading on holiday. So, the first book I finished was The Summit of Broken Rules by K.A. Walter. I gave this 4 stars. I loved this. It was so fun. I loved the assassin aspect. That really made the book for me more than the romance did. The romance was definitely underdeveloped. A little bit of insta-love. Not insta-love, but like, it was a bit quick. But anyway, I loved this. I loved the game aspect, and I really want to read more from this author because I know that she has like at least one other book that has like a game kind of theme to it. So very excited to read more from K.A. Walter. Walter. I never know how you say that. The next book I finished was Until I Met You by Ambrose Gill. We know I was on the brink of DNF in this one, but I gave it 3 stars. I ended up quite enjoying it. It was just a fun, silly read. Definitely have to suspend your disbelief. Not a groundbreaking romance. Just a fun, kind of silly little time. Then I tried to read a couple of books that I didn't end up... Wait, no. Did I read Meet Me by the Lake before or after this? Can't remember. Either way. I read Meet Me by the Lake by Carly Fortune. Gave it 2 stars. Did not love. Did not really enjoy very much at all. Didn't understand the romance. Didn't get the chemistry between them. It's giving like weirdo. I didn't cheat, but like you crossed the boundaries kind of vibes. Didn't love that one. Then I tried to read a couple of books that I didn't end up finishing. They're not permanent DNFs. I just wasn't in the mood for them. So we've got Cat's Cradle by Kurt Vonnegut. How much did I even read of this? Let me see. 24 pages. I still haven't gone back to this one since I've got home. I'm going to definitely give it another go. It's not like a hard DNF. It's just not like the holiday vibe. I wasn't in the mood to read this on holiday. And then Open Water by Caleb Azuma Nelson. I've got the audiobook for this now. Not that I need it. I was getting on fine with the physical book. I just wasn't in the mood for it. But I saw the audiobook was available for free on Libby. So I just thought, I'll get it. And I'm going to listen to this week. So yeah, definitely not DNF. I was going through a bit like an anxious time on holiday, to be honest, when I was going to read this. And I wanted to do this book justice. I didn't want to read it when I wasn't in the mood for it. I needed something to distract me, not something that I really needed to like concentrate on. But I am very excited to read this. And then the last book I read was Fuel the Fire. So I read 3 full books and 2 parts. So I think I only read like 18 pages of this. So 18 of this, 24 of this, 3 full books in these 2 and Meet Me by the Lake, and then 394 pages of Fuel the Fire. So I think I did all right. To say that I didn't listen to any audiobooks whilst I was away either. That was all like either physical or Kindle reading. I think I did quite well. Not that it was a competition anyway. It was just a little holiday vlog. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up down below if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.